Hi everyone, and welcome to our channel Rack to Run, where we discuss with industry leaders issues around AI infrastructure and data centers. And joining us today is Jim Buie, CEO of ValorC3 Data Centers. So Jim, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate your time today.
Jim, how is the surge in AI workloads changing the technical requirements customers bring to you, especially around power density, floor design, and also deployment timelines?
Yeah, great question. So what we're seeing is obviously in the US at least, there's over 4,500 data centers that exist, and those are traditionally air-cooled data centers. And what AI requires and new high-performance compute are the data centers that are more hybrid that can do both liquid cooling and obviously air cooling still relevant and will be for a long time. But you mentioned floor weighting, structural concrete floors are incorporated into design, heavy racks, and really what's most important is the speed of deployment has really changed how you think about the design of your data centers so that you can construct them quickly, efficiently, and meet timelines that customers are demanding with these deployments.
And Jim, what shift are you seeing in customer demand between traditional enterprise, cloud, and also AI focused users? And how is that affecting how you design new capacity?
Yeah, I think enterprises demand is still there. So we see traditional workloads, whether they're ERP systems or EHR systems. And enterprises are solving business problems with high performance compute. But I would say what's different with AI workloads in particular, they are still very much defining the standards of, say, what their liquid cooling solution might be and how they want the data center operators in the industry to deploy liquid cooling. There are a lot of choices. The industry is working hard to create standards to make this easier. But, the main difference is someone coming with an AI cluster to deploy in a data center knows exactly what they want, whether it's the SLAs, the vendor preferences that they bring to the table, where enterprises are still looking for guidance in those areas.
Okay. And Jim, which new cooling approaches is the company evaluating and what factors determine whether they make economic sense at scale?
Yeah, I think it's a very evolving, fast moving market.
Mhm.
Certainly, cooling to the chip is more mainstream. Data center operators will at some point also include immersive cooling options, liquid cooling options. That technology has been around, believe it or not, for about 20 years and will be part of the ecosystem. So, as a data center operator, we think about liquid cooling to a rear door exchanger or to the server equipment chip itself. And I think, 5 years from now, there will be certain customers who really want the immersive cooling. So, as an operator, thinking about your design to make sure you accommodate any of those technologies. And most importantly, our value proposition for our clients is to have 100% uptime. And we certainly want to do that in a cost effective way, but we care most about uptime. And then we care about how much our customers are paying to
Mhm.
deploy modern cooling and really watching vendors closely and some of the hyperscale data center builds and counting on them to drive the cost down and the standards down with the numerous choices that are available in the market.
Okay. And Jim, with grid connections, delays, and power availability becoming critical constraints, how are power considerations influencing site selection and expansion planning today?
Yeah, it's almost everything. Having availability of power in the time frame that your client needs it. In some of the tier one markets, you see power not being available for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And so we look for in our business areas of land that have power availability immediately of some amount with meeting the customer needs for the next 5 years. And we partner closely with the
Mhm.
utility companies to ensure that we're not disruptive. We want to be a good corporate citizen, working with regulatory agencies, the politicians, and the consumers in those markets to ensure that we're not a strain on the grid, but that we're able to balance that need of our clients with the utility that's available.
Okay, taking into account an environment where speed to power often matters more than location or cost, how are you adapting development and delivery models in order to meet customer timelines?
Yeah, I think it's standardizing, as we talked about. We have to create standards in both at an industry, but also amongst our clients so that we can balance that speed and delivery. We want repeatable deployments that we can tell customers exactly how long installation will take. Certainly, construction, if it's a new data center you're building or a new data hall, having standards around our design and building and repeating that design over and over again is kind of key to balancing speed and delivery. And with quality, we care about the quality most of all.
Great. Jim, maybe we can conclude. If you can maybe give us a brief description of the company's portfolio and also the current data center footprint, it would be great.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. We are a data center company that specializes in 5 to 40 megawatt data centers in secondary markets in the US.
Yeah.
We're currently in Oklahoma, Idaho, and Utah with expansion plans in many secondary markets. As an example, looking in markets like Nebraska, expanding further in the three markets I mentioned that we're currently in. But if you're in a secondary market in the United States, you'll be on our list for expansion with our client base.
Great. That's really interesting, Jim. Thank you very much again for your insights and for your time today.
You bet. Thank you.
And thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for more conversations on this critical space.